It's June 10th, 2026. Welcome to yes2hellwith.com. Every so often, someone leaves a comment and says, stop talking and do something about it. And every time I see it, I smile. Because that comment reveals something very important. It reveals that people still do not understand the power of words. Every revolution in history began with ideas. Every movement began with conversation. Every challenge to authority began when someone stood up and spoke a truth that others were afraid to say. Words are dangerous. Truth is dangerous. And that is precisely why so many people want both silenced. The reality is that most people sense something is wrong in America and across the world. They feel it, they see it, they experience it, but they cannot explain it. They do not have the language or the framework. They do not know how to articulate what they know in their hearts. So when someone finally says it out loud, when someone finally puts words to what millions of people have sensed for years, that matters. That is not just talk. That is education. That is awareness. It's understanding. It is the beginning of change. Because a man cannot solve a problem he does not understand, and he cannot resist a system he cannot identify. Many people say, stop talking and give the solution. I already have. The Liberty Dialogue system is a solution. It teaches people how to think, how to question, how to examine authority and presumption, how to speak with confidence, and how to stand their ground peacefully, professionally, and intelligently. And do you know what is happening? People are using the Liberty Dialogue system in courtrooms, with police officers, with public officials, with agencies and bureaucracies every single day across the world. The system fears informed people. The system fears educated people. The system fears individuals who can articulate truth better than its representatives can articulate authority. That is why speech matters. That is why conversation matters, and that's why education is paramount. And that is why I will continue speaking, because silence changes nothing, ignorance changes nothing, and fear certainly changes nothing. But truth changes everything. So if you think talking is meaningless, ask yourself a simple question. Why are powerful institutions so afraid of certain words? Why do they spend so much effort controlling narratives? Why do they work so hard to shape what people think, what you think? Because they understand something many do not. Ideas are powerful, words are powerful, truth is powerful. And when enough people begin speaking the same truth, systems built upon illusions begin to crack. That is why I speak. That is why my students speak. That is why more people must learn to speak, not with anger, not with violence, not with hatred, but with clarity, courage, with truth. Because truth spoken boldly is often the first act of freedom. And as always, may truth reign supreme.